The English news, the Angami Students Union, ASU, identified a total of 69 ILP-related violations during a phase-wise inner line permit, ILP, vigil drive conducted across Kohima town on 6 August. The union reported 47 individuals without valid ILPs and 22 with expired or improperly documented permits. It said all defaulters were handed over to the Deputy Commissioner's office for necessary action. The ASU stated that the drive was conducted in response to growing complaints about unchecked influx and violation of immigration norms. It also highlighted a lack of timely action following earlier drives, compelling the union to continue such initiatives. Appealing for public cooperation, ASU urged landowners to verify documentation before renting out properties and encouraged citizens to report undocumented individuals to authorities. In response, Government Spokesperson and Minister Kenye, during a press conference following a cabinet meeting held the same day in Kohima, assured that the state government is committed to reinforcing ILP implementation. However, he cautioned civil society groups and NGOs not to take the law into their own hands, urging them to coordinate with law enforcement agencies while remaining vigilant. The ASU announced plans to carry out similar drives in other Angami-inhabited areas in collaboration with district authorities to safeguard the interests of the indigenous Naga population. As you continue to watch the coverage, we request our esteemed viewers to subscribe, like and share our channel to always stay informed.
Atia Naga Miss Kobar, Angami Students Union, ASU, para 6 August 2025 te ILP check kuriya upar hosiar step uthai kina Kohima te 69 ILP ठीक ना थकिया मनु खान धुरी से एकता रिपोर्ट ते आंसू कोई से 47 मनु लगा ILP ठीक था का नहीं अरु 22 लगा का गोस तू गलती था की से आंसू कोई से तय खान पारा के टू सॉब मनु के डेप्यूटी कमिश्नर ऑफिस ते डोर कर एक्शन लोगो लेडी दी से आंसू कोई से की तय खान इनका तू ILP ठीक ना थकिया अरु इमिग्रेशन रूल्स भंगाई की ना कोहिमा ते घुसिया कंप्लेंट बिसी रहिया करोने लॉय से आंसू कोई से की तय खान एके ना तू पोहिला भी लॉय था की से होइले भी सोतर पारा टाइम ते एक्शन ना लुवा करोने इनका पूरी बोल लगिया होई से एटू पारा पब्लिक लोगोट कोऑपरेशन लगा अनुरोध पूरी की ना आंसू पारा माटी अरुखोर मलिक खान के भी होशियार था की बोले अरुखोर भरा दिया टाइम ते मनु खान लगा डॉक्यूमेंट तू हाल पारा वेरीफाई कुरिबो कोई से कुनुबा इलीगल मनु देखिले अथॉरिटी के रिपोर्ट कुरिबोले सॉब के रिक्वेस्ट कोई से एटू ऊपर ते नागालैंड सोरकर स्पोक्सपर्सन और मिनिस्टर के केनी एकता कैबिनेट मीटिंग पीछे ते प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस ते कोई से की सोरकर तू ILP तू अरु भी करा पारा लगा बोले कुरी ऐसे किंतु तै पारा सिविल सोसाइटी ग्रुप्स अरु NGOs खान कानून तू निजोर हाट ते ना लोगो ले कोई से तै पारा सॉब के कानून चुला खान लोगोट मिली की ना ILP ऊपर होशियार पारा काम कुरी बोले कोई से आंसू पारा अनाउंस कुरी से किए टू ड्राइव तू दूसरा अंगामी खान थकिया जगह ते डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन लोगोट मिली की ना कुरिबो अरु इंडिजिनस नागा मनु लगा अधिकार तू हाल पारा प्रोटेक्ट कुरी जाबो अपनी खान ए टू सा टाइम पे व्यूअर्स खान के अमी खान लगा चैनल तू सब्सक्राइब लाइक करू साथी खान के भी भाग पूरी की ना होताई जानी की ना था की बोले अनुरोध पूरी आशे
inner line implementation. It is a statewide exercise, but because of the influx and looming threat more from our western borders, bordering Assam, the state as a whole, the people, the administration, and our CSOs are all focused on the western side of our state, with particular reference to the Mapu district, Chubukidima, and Kenye. So everyone is on the vigil, and we're glad that at least on this important issue concerning our lives, our people and the government is in sync and working hand in glove to assist, complementing, supplementing, and supportive in implementing this issue. So I must say it's made a very big headway. We're very satisfied with the results. On a very short-term basis, the results that we are witnessing is highly appreciated, and inputs from the Home Department especially to the Cabinet is very impressive. So there are areas where we will have to slowly come. I must say that it's making huge strides and it is a success.
Regarding the ILP issue, so because now as we have already said that the CSOs and the villages, student bodies are also cooperating with the government, and they themselves are checking the ILPs now for in many areas. But the main concern here is they have caught so many without proper ILP, without proper documents already settling here, and they have even kept them on hold. So what is the government going to do with them? Those who have been caught without ILP, and the students are saying that they will hand it over to the administration. What kind of steps are you going to take on them?
Everything is just starting to coordinate. We did not have a set of rules which were framed from a few years back that suddenly, as the cabinet decides to implement it, this mechanism will start functioning automatically overnight. You must also appreciate the fact successive governments, ever since the inception of our state in 1964 till 2019, or this government, they were handicapped. Handicapped why? Because the ILP regime born out of the 1873 Bengal Eastern Frontier regulations and was not incorporated into the Constitution of India until December 19, 2019, only after the President of India gave the assent. It became a law, a full-fledged law. Let's travel back to history. After all, everything is connected there. We'll not go beyond 1947. I've already wrote a small book on the history of our permanent regime, dating back to 1873. Now it came about British India. You can read through it. But this policy was implemented during British India. And in 1947, on the eve of India being given independence, on the eve of the Englishmen and the British government leaving the continents of India, you are familiar with the 9 Points Agreement. Sometimes it's called the Sir Akbar Hyder Agreement, in between the NMC and Sir Akbar Hyder, who was the governor of then Assam province, the combined province, as the representative of India, 3 months before India's independence. In June 1949, they met, and 9 Points Agreement was worked out, where several points are there, but this 1873 was the point number 9, which they asked to the government of India that in the changeover of powers and India being a full-fledged nation, this should be incorporated into the constitution and should continue in these areas where it is implemented. Unfortunately, after 3 years, when the new constitution of India was drafted in 1950 by the Constituent Assembly, it never found a place in the new constitution. It was removed. So, and it existed only as an ordinance, an executive law, an executive order. So again, in 1960, when the Naga People's Convention went for the 16 Points Agreement, which gave birth to our state, in point number 16, the same 1873 Bengal Eastern Frontier ILP was mentioned as one of the demands. But in December 1962, when Jawaharlal Nehru, the then Prime Minister, brought into the Parliament for enactment of the 16 points, only 4 points were there. And this was not incorporated. It still remained as a ordinance. So there's a huge difference between an enacted law by the parliament, which is full-fledged law, and an ordinance which is a presidential decree issued by a government, cabinet order, which can be removed overnight. So the state government was handicapped in implementing. And every now and then, government of the days in the center used to give directives to the state government. Do this, don't do this. Cover the mapu, don't cover the mapu. All these sort of things. So under such kind of directives, the successive governments could not really implement it with full speed and determination. But in the last 9th Amendment of the Principal Citizenship Act, on December 11th in the Lok Sabha, 12th in the Rajya Sabha, the Parliament enacted and inserted a new section called Section 6B, wherein 4 clauses were there, and this inline permit by Golestan Frontier 1873 figured as per the Home Minister's assurance to our delegation. It was really there. So it was enacted, and now it is incorporated into the Principal Citizenship Act of India. It is a full-fledged law. Immediately, Government of Manipur implemented 2020, January, in 1 month's time. They could realize 1 crore rupees from ILP fees. All depends on the state government's determination. So in our case, it took some time to roll out a policy and a mechanism. And lately, the Home Department and our Police Department, administrative officers and their subordinate colleagues are all struggling to put things together to make it function smoothly. And so, to start with, we have Cabinet Subcommittee on the Inline Permit Regulation. We have said 2-3 times, and to start with, we have categorized, put different people under different categories with which the government administration and district executive forces should start implementing. You are seeing it now. So instead of nothing like before, after having removed all checkposts also, so much thoroughfare was there, but now slowly but surely things are being put in place, and with the added assistance and support, participation of our civil societies and the general public, I think we are making a very big headway here. First is that people of our state, let us not take law into our hands, and let us not be vindictive, let us not be too strict and stringent, and know how to implement this law, use it in a reasonable way. The consciousness has dawned on our people, which is itself a very big success, and we have identified that unless we use these provisions, our land and our people will not be protected. So it is our request that not everybody should start masquerading as law enforcement agents, but look to the right authority and only continue to assist. Assist means not the executors, to assist in every way. So we will work. Your suggestions are still welcome on all fronts.